There we go. All right, guys. So this is Athena Healthcare Enroller Training, and this one is, from your perspective, pretty easy. It's just a series of group meetings at 6 locations. You're splitting them 3 and 3 over the course of next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There is no enrollment. It is kind of to be determined whether we want you to take your laptop or not. Christina is creating a PowerPoint presentation, and we don't know if. I guess you'll have to take your laptop either way. You can either show the PowerPoint on your laptop, just on your local, on your desktop, or she's checking to see if we can get what do you call it? Projectors.
Projector.
Yes. So we don't know that yet.
Hey, Scott.
Yes.
Scott, it's Jeff. I have a projector here. If I need to bring it, I can. So.
Okay, good to know. That's a possibility. We'll wait to see what the client says about that. There are going to be. Sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, I just said okay. I'm gonna mute so you're not getting any feedback.
All right, cool. Christina.
Yes, sir.
Tell us all what is being delivered on site.
So being delivered on site, there's going to be some of the Chubb Lifetime Term Benefit brochures to the 6 locations. You should have those. You should also have at those locations Healthcare to You flyers, just kind of giving a basic overview of the program. Yes,
this is the flyer. I haven't seen the brochure. Do you have a copy of the brochure, Christina?
No, for the lifetime benefit?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get that over to you guys.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll include it in the invite here. So this is a flyer. It's a front and back glossy flyer that talks a little bit about Healthcare to You. And by the way, guys, this is a full training, so I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know. But this is the flyer that you can use as a handout, which gives them information on what the plan is. It's totally voluntary, first of all, and we'll go into the details, but I just want to show you what the flyer looks like here. So we have doctor's visits, unlimited doctor's visits, $10 per visit. It's not a copay, it's not a deductible, it's not co-insurance. It's $10. It's a fee because this is not health insurance, and we'll go over that. It says employee-only benefit because it is. It's only coverage for the employee. And then employee and family, they have telemedicine 24/7, no copay or no fee. Excuse me. I'm saying copay now. There are discounts on prescriptions, and then they have a wellness program through a company called ID Life. ID Life it's all done through a portal, and they have literally thousands of things. It says here, diet plans, exercise plans, stress management, that's like a whole separate thing, It's a huge wellness company is what it is. So it's available to them. They don't have to use any of this. They might have health insurance, whether they do or don't, we could care less. They don't have to use this to enroll in the program. So just know that and just remember that because I'm going to explain the details later here. Once enrolled, you can begin to use after the effective date. The effective date here, Christina, is this 12/1 or 1/1?
12/1.
12/1 effective. Okay. And then how to use your new benefits if they sign up for the program. Now, you're not signing them up, so it's a self-service enrollment. We'll go over that. If they do sign up, that's the 800 number that they'll use. If they need treatment, if they need a doctor's visit, they'll call the 800 number. There is no network of doctors or anything like that. It's all pre-established with Healthcare to You. They have their people their network of doctors that they use, and they will schedule your appointment for you. Same day or next day guaranteed. And I'll show you a lot more info on this one. If they can get you telemedicine call treated that way, then they'll do that. If not, they'll call. They will make the appointment with the clinic. Now this is the front page, and then there is also the back page here. The back page, let me blow this up. Not too much. The back page is a comparison of a paycheck without membership in Healthcare to You and a paycheck with membership. So let me pause right there and tell you what this Healthcare to You thing is. It is fourfold. Number one, it is doctor's visits, direct primary care doctor's visits for acute care, illness or injury at a clinic for $10. As I stated before, they'll call Healthcare to You. They'll arrange the doctor's appointment for the employee. Same day or next day guaranteed. That's number one. Number two is telemedicine, 24 hours for the entire family, no fee. The third thing is the wellness with ID Life. And the fourth thing is this. So the fourth thing is under Section 125 of the IRS code, which you're very familiar with, there's a subsection called 105. And in Section 105, which has existed for 50 years, by the way, it says in there is some verbiage in there that says that an employer is able to reimburse an employee for premiums for wellness, relating to wellness. Because Healthcare to You is a package that includes wellness, it's also care as well, but also wellness. It falls into the category that is allowable by the IRS for an employer reimbursement of the cost of the program. So how it works is, if you look at the paycheck on the left, let's focus in on that one. If we look at the paycheck on the left here, we start with a sample. This is a sample, okay? So amount of taxable income this pay period, taxes paid, contributions, of course it's a zero because they're not in direct primary care, they're not in Healthcare to You yet, and then their net take-home pay. And there's a sample of the paycheck. If we go to the right side of the page here, we have the gross, we have the taxes paid, and as you can see, if you look at the left and the right side, the taxes are very much reduced. That tax savings is the key to everything. The cost for the direct primary care program, in this person's example, it's based on how much they make. It's $498.46 per pay period or per month or whatever this is. They can use those dollars to purchase voluntary products. In this case, it is Chubb Term Life Insurance, which again, you don't need to know much about it, but we'll show you about it. We'll show you what it is. In this example, there was an accident and a short-term disability, but we only have one product here, Chubb Term Life Insurance. It's a permanent term policy. And then the net result, because there is also an employer reimbursement as well for that deduction, Section 105 employer contribution, there is a tax savings generated, and they can use the money, the tax savings money, to spend down. So this person, same paycheck, they were able to buy 2 voluntary products and still have an increase in their take-home pay of $40 per pay period. If they didn't purchase, and they don't have to purchase voluntary, they don't have to purchase that life insurance. If they don't purchase it, then that would have been bigger. It would have been $25, $26 more than that. So the idea is it's allowable by the IRS. If they enroll in the program, they get direct primary care, telemedicine, and wellness, a portal for wellness. They don't have to use it. They can use it if they want to. They're going to get this reimbursement. They're going to get this tax savings, period, regardless. They're going to get it. If they would like to spend their money on term life insurance, it's in the system when they go through self-service, and they can pick it if they want to. But they don't have to. It's optional. The reason I'm saying it this way is there are some other companies like Healthcare to You that are not like Healthcare to You, but there's other companies doing this 105 thing that make the employee spend every penny of their tax savings on worksite products. Why? Because those companies are in the split. They're getting commission on those worksite products. Not only are they getting, paid from this, but they're also getting paid on the product. So that's a little unscrupulous, in my opinion. But so that's what the flyer is, and that's what you can speak to when you explain this. That will be delivered on site. The Chubb brochure with the lifetime benefit term will be delivered on site. Christina, send that to me now so I can pull it up, please. So those, if you don't have a projector or any way of doing anything, you can at least use those two to speak to. There's a couple things going on here. So we have the attachments here. The spreadsheet has the group meeting schedule. So you have the locations. The addresses are on tab 2, by the way. This Torrington location is I'm sorry, which one is it? The Newtown location is the same location. They just have, it's actually even the same building. This one here. So that's why I have that enroller on the same day, same location, because of that. There's 7 locations on here, but it's really only 6. The hours are 6:30 to 4, and that's really it. So we're waiting on direction from the client if they want us to set up, if they have a room for us to be in to set up a projector, or we're kind of figuring out the layout right now. So that's the schedule. I have the Chubb proposal here in the training agenda here as well, which is just the life insurance product. But let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick. One thing about this is this case is a takeover. There is a Transamerica life insurance in place now. This is important. The current participants in the life insurance with Trans are going to be rolled over into the Chubb product. Today, the employees are enrolled in either $25 or $50 a month in coverage with Trans, and that's literally a spreadsheet rollover over to Chubb at the same deduction amount, $25 or $50 for everyone. That is automatic. When they go in the system, they do have the option of waiving that. If they don't have coverage today with Trans, they have the option of purchasing coverage with Chubb, guarantee issue. So I might even pull up the system to show you so you can speak to that. So it is a permanent term. It's called lifetime benefit term. It's permanent term. It pays up to age 120. No medical exams, is guarantee issue, all that good stuff. This group is a very large group, over 3,000 employees. So the guarantee issue for the employee is $150,000. That's important. Age 19 to 70. But again, this is all in the system. You don't have to do anything. But you can tell them, you can get guarantee issue coverage, $150,000 with Chubb, which is what we want. We have the participation today with Trans. We got them rolled over. But what we'd like is some more participants. So if they know that they can enroll in Healthcare to You, they can get direct primary care, telemedicine, and wellness, and have $50 per pay period extra, maybe they'll buy some life insurance guarantee issue. Guarantee issue life insurance, by the way, doesn't come by very often for most people, right? If you're a new hire at a company, it's guarantee issue. That's pretty much it, So if they wanted to get a little bit more coverage, then they can do it, and it actually wouldn't even cost them anything. They would still, let's say they had $50 and they spent $10 on the life insurance, they're still going to get a $40 pay increase per pay period after 12/1. So that, if I were there, that's what I would be talking about. What Healthcare to You is, how it works, and what they can do with the money, which is right here. There's not, we don't have to go into too many details about the life insurance. It's straight up life insurance. UDIA pays a beneficiary, and that's captured in the system. But Christina just sent me the brochure. This is the actual brochure. What can you use life insurance for? A whole heck of a lot of things, or your beneficiary at least. There is a long-term care rider, 4% of your death benefit up to 25 months. Guarantee issue up to age 70. Terminal illness benefit, you get half if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness, up to $100,000. So anyway, just a couple pages.
Scott, might I interject for one moment?
Please.
This is also out on the landing page, and there's this great video that they put out on the landing page as well from Chubb about the
All right,
Chubb benefit.
Page then. So this, what I have here in front of you guys, this is the training invite that I sent out. So I have these documents, and I haven't even got to all of them. There is the landing page, which we created for Athena to steer the employees to, so they can see what's going on, what is this all about before you would get there. And then we have, I embedded here an enroller training on Healthcare to You, a link that has all of those documents that we're going to cover. Okay, so landing page. So this is the landing page, athena.benaware.com. You can make no, it's not an appointment. That actually doesn't go anywhere. Oh, it goes to the site so they can log in. Yeah. This is a self-service site. Christine, do we have the instructions on how to log in here? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is the username, and then you guys know about PIN codes. Last 4 of your social, 2-digit birth year is your PIN code. There's an example. And that's how they log in. Again, totally self-service. You're not enrolling anybody. So we have this overview in English. Let me pull it up here. It's the flyer, the front of the flyer at least. Same thing we just looked at. Sample paycheck. This will be the back of the flyer that you'll have on hand. They sent those flyers to every location that you're visiting. Sample paycheck comparisons. There's a video. There's video in the system as well. This is a 4-minute video that talks about Healthcare to You and talks about direct primary care. It talks about telemedicine, talks about wellness. We don't have to play that. But if you do have a projector or you're going to have your laptop, that would be a good thing to even play during your presentation. It might even be the first thing that you play, and then you kind of explain the rest. I think that's what I would do. And then at the bottom, we got the materials in Espanol, front and back. And then there's a Spanish version. It's a little bit longer. It's almost 6 minutes. Lifetime benefit term, that's the brochure we just showed you. Direct primary care overview. Let's open this thing. Yeah, it's, again, similar to the flyer. Office visits, $10, no deductible, no claims. Remember, it's not insurance. There is actually an annual physical and well woman one time a year. Normally, these doctor's visits are for acute care, so sickness or injury, but they can, once a year, you do get that. Discounts on drugs, telemedicine 24/7 for the family, not just employee only, and chronic disease management. Chronic disease management means...
And actually, Scott, for this group, there's no program for family. It's employees only.
On the telemedicine?
I believe so. That's why we're not even capturing making
the dependents, socials.
The dependents a requirement. Yep, only for beneficiary purposes, and that's what I'm putting in my my demo.
Okay, that's not normal, guys. Normally, everybody's covered, so this is an unusual one. Chronic disease management, 13 chronic diseases. You pay your $10 fee. Again, you still have to make your appointment with Healthcare to You, and they'll set it up for you. But these are the lists of diseases that you can have, your perpetual treatments for. And then health counseling, which is part of the telemedicine. Part of the wellness program. And there's some frequently asked questions. What about pre-existing conditions? Yes, they don't care. Do you accept walk-ins? No, you have to call the 800 number. Are there any annual limits on doctor's visits? There is no limit. Unlimited doctor visits, acute and chronic visits, is the key word there. They do get one wellness visit. There's the phone number, step 2, step 3. So this is on the landing page, but is this going to be delivered to Christina? Do you know this flyer?
Excuse me?
Do you know if this flyer is being delivered on?
Yes.
It is, okay.
They're supposed to be.
All right, cool. So that was the brochures here, direct primary care overview, nutritional assistance. Let's just take a look at it. This is part of ID Life, so this is actually their website that it's pushing you to. It's custom built for Athena, kind of like the landing page, and it has some more information. You don't have to go into great detail about this wellness thing. Yes, that is Troy Aikman. He's actually an investor in ID Life. You don't have to go into great detail about this, the wellness part of this. It's basically a portal. You have access. I mean, you can order supplements and all this stuff from these guys too. But the idea is weight management, stress management, smoking cessation, that kind of stuff to provide some type of wellness for the employees. This is a Chubb video. I don't see you needing to play that, but if you wanted to. Illustration and a whole bunch of disclosure notices from Chubb. Chubb is part of Combined Life Insurance Company. They branded the whole thing Chubb a couple years ago. And that's all just disclosure information. So that is a landing page. The other thing, this is the Healthcare to You enroller training. This is the stuff that I put together. It has some more beneficial information for you. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to look over this or not, but I've got the flyer, the one I just showed you, front and back, with the paycheck estimate and stuff. I have this one-pager ID Life flyer. It's just high-level information. The overview that we just looked at, the one that's being shipped. But let me go into some other things here. So I have a cheat sheet, an enroller cheat sheet. So it talks about, the first thing people say when they hear this is, well, how the hell is this legal? How is this legal that I can enroll in this program that I don't even have to use, and I'm going to get $50 per paycheck forever? Well, it is allowable by the IRS code section 105, subsection of 125. It's an employer reimbursement. We're not giving you any money. Healthcare to You is not giving you any money. It's the transaction of the pre-tax deduction and the post-tax reimbursement by your employer generates tax savings. The ability to enroll in a program that's allowable for the reimbursement generates tax savings for your employer too, not just for you, for the employer as well, but also for you. So don't enroll if you don't want to. Okay, so that's one thing. Nobody's being forced to do anything here. If somebody gets, pissy with you or whatever, they have the right not to participate. But how is it allowable? How is it legal? It's all in these documents that I have here. So it's laws within the tax code. And this is, by the way, I didn't even make this stuff up. I put this together, all of these documents. I put them together, sent them to Healthcare to You, and they tweaked them with the verbiage they wanted to say. So laws within the tax code allow for you to earn reimbursements/rewards. That is the actual words from the tax code for participation in a corporate wellness program. Participation doesn't mean that you have to use it. It just means that you're enrolled in the program, but it doesn't mean you have to use it. Some of those other companies that do this, they make you use the program too, because their interpretation of the law is that if you're not actively participating in the wellness program on a monthly basis, then you're not really using it. Healthcare to You's attorneys don't see it that way, and they've been fine for years. So you're enrolled in it, but you don't have to use it. So, but you meet the criteria. Corporate wellness program is employer paid. That is very important. That's a good word to use also. This is an employer paid participatory wellness program. The employer, not only is the employer reimbursing the cost for this program, it's an employer paid wellness program. They actually pay a fee. Athena is paying a fee to Healthcare to You on a monthly basis for every person enrolled, because that's also part of the deal. It has to be employer paid according to the rules. A portion of the employee's tax savings is used to pay for the DPC program offered by Healthcare to You, administration, and fees. Excess tax savings can be used to purchase supplemental insurance coverages or be taken as additional compensation. Unlimited $10 doctor's visits, employee only for 13 chronic diseases and acute care. Unlimited zero-cost 24-hour telemedicine visit for employee only, in this case, with Athena. The system shows them, when they enroll in the program, it shows them how much tax savings they're getting or they're going to get. And then it actually, I'll show you a sample. Actually, it's in here. I have a screenshot. There's an enroller script in here. This could be helpful as well. This has the video embedded in it. And this isn't a script. If we were doing an on-site face-to-face enrollment, this is a simple script that we would use. Again, I drafted this. Healthcare to You revised it. So it says, this is an employer-paid program. The participation is voluntary. If you enroll in the program, you'll receive unlimited doctor visits, blah, 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 blah. We've already said this 3 times. The way the program works is the IRS regulations allows for reimbursements and or rewards, incurred medical expenses, and health plan premiums. Those are the words from Section 105. As you saw in the video, the program offers unlimited direct primary care, blah, blah, blah. You're not required to use services. By enrolling in the program, you are able to deduct the premium for the direct primary care program from your paycheck on a pre-tax basis, then simultaneously earn a reward/reimbursement and offset by your employer for this expense. So it's not like they take out $400 out of your paycheck this week and then you get it back next week. No, it's done at the same time. So when you get your paycheck, you don't see any negative effect to you. You do see a large deduction for the plan, but you also see a large reimbursement. And what you're also going to see is an increase in your take-home pay at the end of the day on that paycheck. Let's see. This says everything I just said. You're not required to spend all of the funds on benefits. You're not required to spend any of the funds on benefits. So when they go in the system, this talks about some of the stuff that's in the system, and we'll get there. But this is if you're actually enrolling, so you don't really need to know the rest of the stuff. So that is that. Frequently asked questions. How is this legal? Well, there you go. IRS code allows for reimbursement rewards under Section 213D, incurred medical expenses and health plan premiums. Period. By the way, Athena's attorneys vetted this whole thing out. This isn't just something they said, hey, let's go ahead and do this, you know. This was a very thorough vetting process that has taken months to get here. What do I have to do to receive my reimbursement? Participants must agree to voluntarily enroll in the wellness program, but they don't have to use it. What type of wellness features? Look at it says refer to the ID Life flyer. Will my paycheck be affected? Yes, you will see a new Section 125 deduction for DPC and an after-tax credit for employer Section 105 contribution, the reimbursement. Do I have to spend every dollar of my excess tax savings? You're not required to spend any of it. What happens if I leave my employer? Your participation in the program is terminated along with the benefits associated. What that means is, let's say they sign up for the program, they purchased life insurance, and they left the company. It's the end of both, just like it would be if they were enrolled in a medical plan and life insurance. It's over. They can port the life insurance. Well, there it is. It says right there, you have the option to port some of the additional benefits. So they can keep the life insurance on a direct bill basis. What participation in this program will participation affect my income taxes? So think about this. I was paying $100 per pay period for Social Security tax, whatever you want to call FICA tax. Now I'm paying $50. So if I'm paying less taxes now, I pay less taxes, so how it works is, maybe I should just read it. You may be required to pay fewer taxes, which might result in less of an overpayment to the government. 90% of people in the country pay their taxes, they pay it through their payroll deductions, and then at the end of the year they get a refund, in most cases. Because your taxes are lowered throughout the course of the year by enrolling in the program, your refund will be lower. Could you have to pay taxes? You might, because they haven't taken out enough. That's a possibility. But we want to disclose that also. Healthcare to you difference. This is a comparison of healthcare to you versus the other people that are out there doing something similar. And I kind of touched on this. The wellness program, they don't have to have a monthly health coach call. And they don't have to do an HRA and all that stuff. It's voluntary participation, which I just said. They don't have to do any activities or anything. It's employer paid wellness. DPC visits, which the other ones don't even have. Do you have to spend any of the excess tax savings? No, you do not have to spend.
And Scott, can I add a couple of things here for you?
Sure.
Please? One of the things, I'm not sure if it's on there right at this time. I know we are updating some paperwork. One thing to mention, and I'm adding this to my notes for my demo as well as a slide presentation for you, is that employees need to make, as Scott said, more than $17,400 annually, but also they cannot be actively contributing to a health savings account. If they have a health savings account that has money still accrued on it, they can use that, but they can't actively be contributing.
That's a good point. And I don't know if I don't know if Athena even has an HSA. Do you know if they have one?
I don't think they do, but it's something to just mention. I mean,
but it's a good point, because
they
may not have one. Doesn't mean an employee's spouse may not have one that they're part of, you know.
Right. Well, the thing is that if their spouse has it, because this is not eligible for employees, I mean for the families, I think that shouldn't make a difference. But that's a great question for me to ask.
Yep. It's a good point. All right, so what else? Employee acknowledgement form, you don't have to worry about this. This would be if we were doing an on-site enrollment. We want the employee to sign off on it, physically sign a piece of paper. This would be helpful. So this is what the system looks like. You guys have both seen Celerix before. You know, you kind of just hit next, next, next. Well, that's what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you log in. When they go self-service. Obviously, there's no accident here, but they're going to have healthcare to you, direct primary care, accept or decline. If they accept it, then they'll be enrolled in wellness and there will be the tax savings. If they don't accept it, it's going to push them straight to the life insurance where they can enroll in just that product if they want to. The video is there. They have to acknowledge they saw the video. The next page takes them to a calculator. You know, just in case somebody might pull the site up right in front of you, and you know you can help them navigate. It takes you right to the calculator here. So this filing status has been provided by the employer, married or single. This number of allowances has been provided by the employer on the census, so they don't have to touch these two. Tax deferral would be like a 401k percentage. How much are they contributing to a 401k? It's pre-tax, you know. And then state and local taxes. If they have, obviously in Connecticut, they have a state income tax. So they would select that. This little excess tax savings button is, you know, technically what they click next, but they don't have to. If they click on that, it pulls this up, which is a side-by-side comparison, kind of like the paychecks I showed you. This is your net. This is your gross salary. Your taxes today, just the taxes, not benefits, but just the taxes, your net take-home pay. And then with health care to you, you can see the taxes are reduced. You can see there is a deduction amount for the DPC, direct primary care. And then there's also a reimbursement from the employer. And there is a tax savings in this case of $184.33. Accept or decline. If they accept, it pushes them to this ID Life page where there's nothing to do with accept.
Hey, Scott.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, not to interrupt, but can you do that? Can you go to that? There you go.
Yeah.
Are those supposed to be different? The 1894, 13, it's off by it's only a penny difference. Is that supposed to be the net take home?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to reflect the $184?
Yeah. So, I mean, you have a point there.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah, no, you have a point there. So the net take home pay, you have a good point there. If they enroll in the program but don't purchase any voluntary products, you're correct. It's going to be $18.94 whatever plus the $184.
Yeah.
That will be their take home pay. But it doesn't display that
right.
here. That's a good point. And you'll see later.
I just wanted to make sure I was seeing that.
Yeah, you'll see later on that even though it's not a good example here, it does show later.
Yeah, okay.
So there's the tax savings. It shows up as a negative in the system because we want the employee to be able to spend down on the worksite products if they want to. So if I enroll, in this case, in universal life insurance, I pick this plan, quite expensive, but still. And I chose the accident plan. It's doing a spend down here. So here's my confirmation page. So I enrolled in the program. I purchased a couple of products. The net to me, I actually spent more than my tax savings was. My tax savings was $184, but I bought one very expensive product and another one. So I actually owe $5.55 per pay period after the effective date. But I got $50,000 of UL, and I got an accident plan for the family. If I didn't spend all my money, this would show up as a negative, indicating that this would be an increase in my take-home pay because it's a credit. So those are just some screenshots. They're in here in the training link here. Front and back, and then the overview. So those are just the training documents that are out here on this link. This is not available to employees. This is just for our enrollment team for reference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see what else is in here. I think we went over all of this. Yes. So Christina, we're going to have the flyer front and back, the glossy flyer front and back. We're going to have that DPC overview. This one, direct primary care overview. We're going to have a chart.
And something I'm going to point out as well when I'm walking through and if you do have I have to apologize, gentlemen, because my voice sounds terrible on these recordings, but if you want to show it, one of the things I'll point out is this nutritional assessment as well with the Wellness ID Life, because it does offer assistance, personal plans for meals and fitness to help the employees live their healthiest lives. So, but that's something to point out. I just realized, Scott, as you were kind of hovering over it. There. But yeah, those things are all supposed to be delivered. They're here on the landing page to reference as well. I'm going to reference them in my slide presentation as well as the actual web video presentation.
Okay. And so we're kind of to be determined on whether there's going to be projectors in a room to even show anything or not, if it's just going to be using the paper. And we'll just have to follow up with you guys to let you know that. What else, Christina, on the client side? Are we waiting for anything else from them?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, good. Do you guys have questions? I know this is way outside the box from what we normally enroll. We're not even enrolling, we're just explaining. But do you have any questions? Let me unmute David here.
Yeah, no, Scott. No, I know exactly what this program is. I actually I have an article submitted to the CPA journal describing these and how to do it. So I'm very, very familiar with what they're doing.
All right, great.
Good. Hey, Scott.
Yes.
Unlike David, I am not at all familiar with these plans.
Okay.
However, I mean, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, and I'm kind of listening to this as if I were an employee there. I think the first thing that I would ask is, you know, how do the DPC provider plans, how do they affect my health insurance, or do they affect my health insurance? And if I have health insurance and a primary care provider, do I need the DPC plan? Because those are all questions I think that will come up.
That's a very common question that comes up, actually. And the answer is it doesn't affect it at all. You can still go to your network primary care physician and pay your $20 copay or whatever it is, your zero copay, whatever your plan is. It's not affected. It's not affected by this. This is not affected by that in any way. This is good because I like this because, you know, there can be a population of part-time employees that are not offered anything, you know, at all. We see that.
Right.
It's very common in the benefits enrollment business that we see. So we like it because of that. But again, if they have health insurance, it's not going to affect it. Vice versa, not going to affect it. And like I said, they don't have to use any of this. If they participate, if they enroll in the program, they don't even have to use it at all. Because I'll tell you, when they call that 800 number, they're going to tell them the doctor to go to. They're going to set it up for them. You know, who knows? They might not like that doctor, or they might get scheduled for the next day instead of today, and they want to go today. So go to your doctor instead. It's fine.
Right.
The benefit might be it's a little bit less expensive because it's $10 versus, you know, most copays are at least $20 for a primary. Depends on the plan, of course, but yeah, that is a common.
Well, mine's 15 better. Okay. I think I need to kind of look through this stuff.
Okay. Well, you got my number.
Make sure I'm comfortable talking about it. That's all.
Sure, absolutely. You've got my contact info. We've got a few days here, also several days,
right,
to kind of review again. If you want to pull me aside again and go one-on-one and ask some questions or review, we can totally do that. Yep.
And Scott, when is their first meeting?
The first one is the first meetings are on Wednesday morning.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we have a few days.
My goal is to have this webinar over to you, the one I'm working on, and the PDF kind of slideshows. You know, my goal is to have it to you later this evening, but that may not always work the way I like it.
That's all right. I don't think I'm going to be looking at it tonight. I've got my hands full.
Scott, this is David. If I understood what you just said, they do not have to have coverage under a major medical plan and to participate in this healthcare to you, correct?
Correct. They don't have to.
Okay. Okay. All right, that makes sense to me because they're probably
eligible for benefits at all.
Yeah. So they're probably looking at this as being qualified as some sort of a MEC.
Yeah, but it won't qualify as a MEC.
No, it does not qualify as a MEC.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of an in-between, you know. We like
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's not a,
the
that's
it's
my
not an
only
insurance
curveball with
company.
it. Is
a win-win-win. You know, they get some
Yeah.
type
Right.
of coverage. It doesn't cost them anything, or it costs them $10, I guess. They get a tax savings. The employer gets a tax savings. Shit, I mean, the only downside to it is, like with any pre-tax product you enroll in, they can't change it without a life event. So they can't get out of it
Right.
next open enrollment without a life event. Well, so what? Why would I get out of something that's paying me $50 per pay period?
Right.
Right. Yeah, I'm still. Now, just so you know, and I'm gonna read through it and take a little more time to digest it. But I'm still a little sketchy on on how the money gets, turns from 0 to 50 to. So let me take a look at it and read through the explanations, and
Yeah.
then maybe
And that
somebody,
tax
if I
savings
still need help with it, somebody can bottom line it for me.
Sure. The
So
tax savings is going to be
I mean, as
different for
I
every
walk through it
person.
and I understand. Yeah.
You know, because so if I make $50,000, my tax savings is going to be, and plus I'm married, finally married. I have three allowances. I'm contributing 2% of the 401k, and I have zero income tax in Florida. My number is going to be different than somebody filing single that makes $20,000 that has, maybe have zero allowances.
Correct.
It's all based on all those factors as to what your tax savings dollar amount is going to be, but it's all based on that criteria.
Okay. I mean, I understand, kind of intuitively understand how the whole thing works because I've done all of this stuff. But again, looking at it from an employee, I'm looking at it and saying, what's the catch? I mean, so
Right.
I just need to read through it so I understand it so I can explain it and put them at ease when they ask that question.
Of course. Yeah, the tax savings is generated from that transaction. The pre-tax deduction and the post-tax reimbursement from the employer is what generates the tax savings, and it's completely different for everybody. It is a hard concept for people to understand. They kind of get it high level, but it takes a while to sink in. Enrollments, when we sit on site face to face with an employee, we're doing healthcare to you, DPC, wellness, the whole thing, and we're doing a couple of voluntary products. Our track record has been that when we sit down with an employee, 90+% of them, once they understand how it works, which is the same thing I'm telling you today, 90+% sign up for healthcare to you. And out of those people, 95 or more percent spend every dollar they have on worksite. They don't all. Some of them don't buy any worksite. But that has been our track record. That's been what we've seen this year. We've been enrolling this product all year. All year, we probably have a dozen or so enrollments in the pocket there. So that's just what we've seen. And if you follow the script and they get the flyer and they get that other document that they're sending there, and if they see the video, because that's all that they see when we're enrolling with them. They watch the video, they hear the words from the script that the enroller's telling them, they get the flyer. That's it. Those are the three elements. Plus, of course, they look in the system and they see what their specific tax savings is, and they sign up. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end the recording here, and like I said before, I'm available. We definitely want to answer your questions. If I don't have the answer, I'll get it back from Healthcare to You. But